Another new watch brand on the review channel today. This is a Nansha, and like my last review, there is no number or designation name for this watch, so when you Google it, it's just Nansha. So let's have a look at this thing. Good day to you all, and welcome back to another watch on the BBW review. So this Nansha, I was looking online and there's quite a lot of similar looking watches with a similar design, but I could not find this actual watch. So I don't know the number or the designation name. It's just a Nansha, so it may be a bit difficult to look for. But anyway, let's go into the specs on this thing. It's quite a standard measurement. You have 40 millimeters across the diameter, and the more important measurement is the lug width, which is 50 millimeter from lug to lug. The depth is quite a slim, although it doesn't look that slim. It's actually just 10 millimeters from the base to the flat mineral crystal on top. But it does look chunky, but it's actually not once it's on the wrist. And the other measurements, you have a 20 millimeter band width for that strap. The weight, including this quite a nice stainless steel deployment strap, is 93 grams. And of course the most important thing is the price. This is delivered to me from Shenzhen in China for just $7 US. Now, going over the finer details, of course, for $7 it's going to be a chrome plated alloy. The case itself is in, I think you could say it's in two parts. The silver part and the bezel on top. Now, the case design is quite standard, not too beautiful, but I do like the way it does curve down with these lugs here, so it does fit quite well on the wrist. My wrist is a 6.5 inch, and this does hug my wrist quite well. Onto the bezel, if you call this a bezel, you have a gold coloured bezel, which is quite nice. It sets off the hands quite well, and the Roman numerals. Within the bezel, you have, I'm not sure if you can pick that up, it's a two-tone black. So around the perimeter where the Roman numerals are, it's a darker black than the central black where the hands are. It's quite nice. It kind of makes it a bit less bland looking, because these kind of watches are kind of bland looking. One thing I don't like the Roman numerals are applied quite well, but I would much prefer Arabics. I don't really like Roman numerals unless it's a classic looking watch. So I think the Roman numerals would fit a more classic or retro watch. It doesn't work so well with this kind of styled watch. Anyway, the hands. The hands are quite small. You have sword-shaped hands with a lick of white paint posing as loom down the middle, and a simple stick hand for the second hand. You have Nansha, which I think is painted below the 12, the brand name Nansha, and above the 6, of course, this is a Quartz, $7. And the second hand, does it tick on the minutes? It's difficult to see the minutes, although you do have a mirrored perimeter there, as you see, for those Roman numerals. But does it meet the exact? No, it doesn't. It doesn't actually click right on the numerals, just slightly before or slightly after, but not too bad. Yeah, I don't like these hands. They're a bit small. As you can see, the hour hand doesn't really approach the markers there, although the minute hand does. But in certain lights, the gold tips, as you see here, after the white paint, it does disappear. I'm not sure if I can produce that now. No, I can't. But outside, all you see is the white part, which make the hands, of course, look even smaller. Let's move it out of the way. Okay. The crown is a 5 millimeter crown. Functions quite well, quite grippy. No problems there. Let's have a look at the movement. I always test the movement with the minute hand jump, and this does jump a little bit. It jumps about 30 seconds. So positioned over the 12, press in, Oh, no jump there. Now with one finger, this is where the jump does happen, positioned over the 12. No discernible slight jump there. And once more over the 12, two fingers. No, not really. So quite a good movement. Although, of course, for $7, you're going to get the cheapest Chinese movement possible. But they're functional. They do work. And I've never had a problem with their Quartz watch, really. Onto the back. Just set that there. So the back has a standard basic details of it being a stainless steel back, the brand name Nansha, and water resistant. Now, whenever it doesn't have the actual number of the water resistance, it's generally defaults to a 3 ATM or 30 meters. And of course, you're going to get a press down back cover, pull off, press down back cover. Although I haven't plucked this one up yet, but I'm guessing the movement's going to be about that big inside. But of course, it does work well. It does work as well as you expect it to for $7. The strap. Now, what I did with the strap is I removed the end links here, which should hug the case there, and used these bare ones. I'm not sure what you would call this style. The reason being, I get easy removal of the strap. I'm not sure if you can see that. Okay, here, let's get a better position there. Here, it's much easier to remove the strap compared to having the solid end links here, which I don't like. Although the solid end links do make it look better. But onto the strap, you have quite a nice strap. It's push pin, and I've removed every link possible to get it onto my skinny wrist. It's quite sturdy. It's quite a bit of heft to it. The links themselves are, let's focus that a bit. So you get two outer, they're both polished. The central link has kind of brushed effect down the center, and at the edges, the same polished. Each link is combined with the two outer and the central. So that's 1, 2, 3. That is one link. I think it's solid. Let's have a listen. I judge if it's solid or not by the music it makes. It sounds solid anyway, and it does feel, as I mentioned, there's quite a heft, so it does feel solid, which is quite nice with a $7 watch. But again, the only thing I don't like, although it's a small detail, are the Roman numerals. Some may, I don't, I prefer Arabics. So let's have a look at this thing on the wrist. And there she is. It's not a wonderful looking watch, but for $7 I think it's well worth the money. And in some lights it does look kind of nice. So at 40 millimeters, and as you see those curved lugs, they do hug my wrist, which leaves a very discernible gap, slight gap under each of those lugs, but not one you'd notice. And being 10 millimeters, although it doesn't appear to be, it is actually 10 millimeters in depth, it does hug the wrist well and slide under your shirt quite well. So it does, when it's turned in different kind of lighting, it does pick out different features, even though it's quite a plain looking watch. But that central dial compared to the outer dial, that dark black, if you have a dark black and lighter black, does work quite well. And I do like the play of the gold bezel with the gold hands. It's quite nice there. So there you have it, the Nansha, which has no name or number, just the Nansha Quartz watch. It's quite a nice looking watch, I guess, although as mentioned, I do not like Roman numerals too much. And I would prefer it if they had the gold all over the case instead of just on the bezel. But it is just $7, so no complaints there. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again with another watch on the green chair. Until then, as always, take it easy.